evening in Sfat on the Friday when our group split up by sex and went to separate Kabbalat Shabbat services. My female group began walking together from the hotel, following the winding streets of the holy city, skipping stairs, descending towards our destination. Just as another series of stairs came into view, our counselor stopped us and called us over to the right of the road, where she stood up on a short wall. We ran over, our skirts and hair flying behind us, and jumped to join them. She promised us an unforgettable sunset and asked us to concentrate on the moment that was neither day nor night. The proud hills and walls that could speak stretched out before us, inviting us to become part of ancient and future record. Within minutes, the mountains had swallowed the sun, and it was over. We continued on our walk and found ourselves at the door of a religious art gallery, where about 20 or so women were already sitting around on pillows in a crooked circle in a small, warm, and colorful room filled with paintings of words and numbers and light. Light from within blended with the blue light that was coming from the large window, and voices hummed all around us. Wordless melodies spun throughout the gallery, women joining in as they pleased. We didn't realize we were waiting for anyone, but when a woman dressed in happy shades of pink and white ran into the room, bouncing an infant on her hip, everyone quieted down and we began singing traditional Shabbat songs. The traditional songs were lit on fire as the women who sang them brought new melodies in their energies and poured their hearts into each song. The woman dressed in pink and white appeared to be so in touch with her happiness, and a chorus of women who sang with her seemed to be using the Friday night service as a mechanism of reaching their own. On this Friday night, I loved Israel so much. I loved its ability to bring people closer to their inner truth, whatever that may be. I loved its ability to bring people together in conversation or in song. I loved that I was allowed to take part of it. But then a couple of days later, we were no longer surrounded by the blues and purples of Tzfat, but by the yellows and browns of the Negev, of the Sde Boker army base, where we were to spend 4 days in Gadna, the program run by the Israel Defense Forces, which prepares young adults for their mandatory military service. We were stripped of our clothing and belongings and were presented with olive green uniforms, mostly in the wrong sizes, hats, canteens, belts, a hard cot, and dirty wool blankets. We endured the 4 days of cleaning bathrooms, washing army-sized loads of dishes, crawling on our elbows on the rock-hard desert floor, doing push-ups, receiving unfair and sometimes fair punishments, running long classes, and shooting M16s. During the 4 days, we had to perfect our methods of communication, learn to rely on one another, and overall just strengthen our bonds so that none of us was taxing the weight of the super unpleasant conditions. Each and every one of us were tested in different ways and found ourselves using our leadership skills and perseverance to overcome each challenge. Though throughout our time at the base, I was mostly upset with the trip coordinators for putting us through this torture, I saw the importance of the experience soon after our release. The program drilled into my head how important it is for me to acknowledge and act upon what I know is my obligation towards Israel. I am responsible for its security and well-being just as much as the highest-ranking officer in the IDF. I am responsible for her policies, for her leaders, and for promoting culture within her. I see now that my experience in Tzfat was the fruit of those who feel responsible for Israel's labors. It was because of the group who washes the soldiers' dishes on Thursdays, and the wealthy American who writes the checks, and the Israeli-Palestinian band that rocks for peace, that I was able to tap into what can only be called truth that Friday night. So now it is my turn, our turn, to fulfill our obligation towards Israel. I know we are capable, are now entering senior class, of doing big things. We proved to ourselves and to others we have the skill